Welcome to Emerging Civil War News. I'm Kris Mackowski, and joining me today from Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, is my good friend Andrew Dalton, President and CEO of the Adams County Historical Society and Gettysburg History. Andrew, how are you today?
Doing well. Thanks for having me back.
I feel like we're just going to have a whole episode with you today because you have a lot of news going on out of Gettysburg history at the moment. All good things. I'm hoping we could do a quick rundown today.
Would love to. That'd be great.
So first of all, you've got, I think, a really cool thing coming up in October with the Hopkins House and some of the initiatives you're doing with Black history in Gettysburg. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we in 2023 were approached by some folks in the community here. They let us know about a home it's 219 South Washington Street, kind of a nondescript residential property. But the house was falling apart. It was in disrepair, a really terrible hoarding situation actually inside with, the person's contents. The contents of the house are piled up the sides of the walls. And we had known that this is a really significant site to the Black community in Gettysburg. It was the home of Jack and Julia Hopkins. Jack Hopkins was the janitor of Gettysburg College during the Civil War. And the house had been owned by Abraham Bryan before Hopkins, who some of your listeners probably know also owned property on the fields of Pickett's Charge. And quite famously, that farm was photographed after the battle. And so, Hopkins and Bryan actually had connections to the Underground Railroad, and the house has a historical marker in front of it, but really there's been no other effort to interpret the site. And so when the house was available for purchase, we had some donors rally around the idea of getting it and potentially turning it into an interpretive site for Black history in Gettysburg. So we got that all together and we were able to clear the house, strip down the walls. We discovered that the original 1840s log cabin is still intact underneath the walls, and we even found the original door and window that had been hidden by the more modern plaster. So you walk into this space and it hits you in the face how raw and historic it is, and how significant it is to the community. I should have noted earlier that this is the only house we know of in Gettysburg that dates to the before the Civil War associated with the Black community. So all the other Black residences, businesses, churches, all of those structures from the time of the Civil War are gone. This is the only one left, according to our research. And so to restore this and turn it into a really special place for people to come and explore the story of the Black community in Gettysburg, it's something we're going to kick off in October. We're going to have actress Anna Devere Smith here in Gettysburg. She's a direct descendant of Basil Biggs, who's one of the best known Black civilians here in Gettysburg during the Civil War. She's actually working on a play about Basil Biggs and was going to be speaking about that. But the project's just really rewarding, exciting. We have a lot of folks in the community who've waited a very long time to see something like this happen. And as we peel the layers back and discover what's left at this site, we're just, you know, pleasantly surprised every time we find artifacts hidden behind the wall, or we're doing some archaeology in the backyard. We found a lot there. And one of my favorite things about the house is on the original logs, you can see the Roman numerals on each log that they used to number them when they were putting it together in the 1840s. So that's the type of history that really resonates, gets me excited. And I hope we can have some success with this fundraising campaign once we kick things off in October.
As we get a little closer to October, if folks want to kind of keep tabs on what's going on, or if they want to get involved or donate, how can they do that?
Well, I'd encourage everybody, if you check out gettysburghistory.org, we have on the donate page a section about the Hopkins House. So you can read more of the project details. And if you're so inclined, you can make a donation or a pledge to help us realize our goal. We have a $2 million goal for the project, and we've raised about 250,000, a little more than $250,000 so far over the past couple months.
So looking forward to that. And we'll be there in October to help you celebrate and then kick things off. So looking forward to that. So now another bit of news you have is relates to the film festival, which has really become a fantastic opportunity for the community to get together and kind of explore those intersections of history and pop culture and politics. And you've got some great news for this year's upcoming festival.
We do, and I'm sure it'll be no surprise to your listeners that the theme next year will be the American Revolution, the 250th anniversary of the United States. Ken Burns has committed to coming back, which is just so exciting. This is the third year No, this will be the fourth year in a row that he's done this with us. The dates are April 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, 2026. So we really hope you can come out and join us. There aren't as many. We did World War II this year, and there were a lot more films to work with. So we're looking for we're going to dig into some of Ken's documentaries in addition to the we're hoping to screen John Adams, the HBO series, maybe some of Michael Douglas's Franklin series that's relatively new. I'd love to screen Hamilton and maybe 1776 if we're looking at the way musicals have impacted the Revolution. And we're also going to tie things to Gettysburg. Obviously, Jefferson and Lincoln, you can directly tie the Gettysburg Address back to the founding and Jefferson's words. And so we're going to have some Lincoln historians, some Jefferson historians here. And the focal point really is going to be Ken's new series, The American Revolution, which comes out November 16th of this year. And we will be screening clips of that. Ken will be speaking about, the creation of it. Some of his collaborators we expect will be here. So we're really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And the eyes of the country, of course, are on the 250th. And to link Gettysburg and Philadelphia with the founding and I guess you could say the resurrection of our country here at Gettysburg, I think it's going to be a really unique event and theme.
So I suppose as a John Adams fanboy, I should point out Adams County, where Gettysburg is located,
That's
is
right.
named after John Adams, right?
That's right. He was never here. I wish he had been. That would have been great. But yes, John Adams is our namesake here. So we'll try to tie that in somehow. I know Paul Giamatti's actually been to our facility before we opened our new museum. He was at our former location, and I'm hoping we can have him back. He certainly did a phenomenal job portraying Adams. It's one of my favorite. I think I watched it 3 or 4 times. One of my favorite series.
Yeah, fantastic.
So
And
it's
and
going to
then
be
the
great.
the third item on the list, because you always have lots of things going on, is you have just constituted a new historians council for Gettysburg history. Tell us a little bit about that initiative.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that too. So we have, including yourself, so many great historians, authors, filmmakers that we work with on a regular basis, and we wanted to find a way to highlight their individual work and backgrounds. And so we've established the Gettysburg History Council, which is a list of maybe 35 or 40 individuals that we work closely with on different projects, whether it's an exhibit or advising on a film or giving programs. We wanted to gather everybody together and have, show people how great our team is that stretches far beyond just folks right here in our building and at our various sites around town. So I'm honored that you could join that, and we've got a lot of great recognizable Gettysburg characters on there like Tim Smith and Gary Edelman, and I think Bill Frasnito. We're going to add him in the next couple days. So it's a great effort, and I'm really honored that we could have all these folks join it.
The privilege is mine, and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel if you're hitting up me. But I appreciate it. I looking at the who's who, and I was like, wow, oh my gosh. So, emerging Civil War chief historian Kris White also on the council there. So
That's
I hope
right.
that we can
Yeah.
all get together as a council and just have a beer together because that's a really cool group of people you guys have
I
assembled.
would love that. Actually, I have an idea of having kind of like a summit on the future of Gettysburg or something and having everyone come together and talk about, what we want to do in the next 10 or 20 or 50 years as, a collective. So I hope we can make some of those things happen. And yeah, it's a nice way to remind people that we're all in this together. We're all, working towards the same goal to raise the profile and the exposure for this place and its significance. And Gettysburg has such great, I guess you could call it brand recognition. Everybody in the world knows this place, and so we can do a lot more. I think to reach more people, and there's millions of folks around the country. I think that have an interest in this place, and we just need to keep finding new and exciting ways to engage them.
So if folks at home want to stay engaged with Gettysburg history, how would you have them do it?
Well, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and our website, gettysburghistory.org. So you can find us just about anywhere. Our YouTube page has really grown quite a bit. And if you check it out, there's regular content from, of course, Tim Smith on our staff, but we're growing some other strands on YouTube. And in fact, today we just released a series by historian Ken Gavin, I think the first video of the series, and it's about Revolutionary War connections to Gettysburg. So if you think about people like Dawes in the railroad Gettysburg cut, and his ancestor, of course, William Dawes, rode with Paul Revere, and we got, in fact, Revere himself had his descendant here at the Battle of Gettysburg. So there's a lot of connections that people may or may not know of, and so if you check that video out today, it's one of the first of that new series, and we hope to continue to grow our YouTube presence even more.
So, Andrew, thanks for all the work that you do, and congratulations on just more gangbuster stuff.
Thank you, Kris. Could I say one more thing?
Please
I
do.
just want to congratulate my good friend. I know you just had him on, but Dr. Ian Isherwood is
Yeah.
the new director of the Civil War Institute here in Gettysburg, and I just can't say enough good things about him. He's phenomenal. He's been a good friend of mine, a mentor, a close friend, a close associate and advisor as we've put together our museum here. So I think everybody should be very happy and excited about Dr. Isherwood and his new role here.
I have heard nothing but good things about him since the announcement. So it looks like it's generated a lot of positive buzz in the community for very good reason.
It
So
it sure has. It's great. Well, thanks again, Kris. Great to be
my
with you.
my pleasure. Thanks so much, Andrew. Take care. I'm Kris Mackowski for Emerging Civil War. We'll see you online and on the battlefield.